London, a city of over 9 million people, ancient streets lit by modern lights. But when the sun sets and the crowds thin out, something else awakens. Tonight I'm taking you through 5 documented cases that left investigators baffled, witnesses traumatized, and skeptics questioning everything they thought they knew. These aren't urban legends passed down through generations. These are real events, witnessed by police officers, documented by researchers, and reported in newspapers. What you're about to hear happened in this city, and some say it's still happening. Let's begin. Story 1. The Enfield Poltergeist, the case that made investigators believers. August 1977, Enfield, North London, a quiet council house on Green Street. Peggy Hodgson was a single mother raising 4 children. Nothing unusual about that. But what started happening in her home was anything but normal. It began with knocking. Her daughters, Janet, 11, and Margaret, 13, heard it first. 3 loud knocks from inside the walls of their bedroom. Then their bed started shaking, violently. Peggy thought they were playing around, until she saw it herself, a heavy chest of drawers sliding across the floor. On its own, she called the police. And here's where it gets real. When officers arrived, WPC Carolyn Heaps witnessed a chair move 4 feet across the room, no strings, no explanation. She wrote it in her official report. You can still read it today in the Met Police archives. The family was terrified, so they reached out to the Society for Psychical Research. 2 investigators, Maurice Gross and Guy Lyon Playfair, moved into the house. They stayed for over a year. What they documented was unprecedented. Furniture lifting off the ground, objects flying across rooms, toys, books, cushions, sometimes with such force they left dents in the walls. Janet was thrown out of her bed multiple times. Witnesses saw her levitate, her body rising nearly 2 feet into the air. And then, the voice. A deep, guttural voice came from Janet's mouth, but it wasn't hers. It claimed to be a man named Bill Wilkins, who had died in that house years before. Investigators recorded hours of audio. You can hear it yourself, this 11-year-old girl speaking in the voice of an elderly man, saying things she couldn't possibly know. Over 30 people witnessed these events. Neighbors, journalists from the Daily Mirror. Even a BBC crew captured strange activity on camera, though some footage mysteriously malfunctioned. Skeptics claim Janet faked some incidents, and she did admit to a few pranks, probably out of fear or desperation for attention. But investigators insist that 95% of what happened was real. Maurice Gross spent 1,200 hours in that house. Before he died, he said, "I went in as a skeptic. I left convinced." The house still stands. The current residents refuse to talk about it. Story 2. The Woman in Red at Bleeding Heart Yard, a death that sparked a legend. Walk down a narrow alley in Farringdon, and you'll find Bleeding Heart Yard. It's tucked away between buildings, easy to miss. But locals know it, and they avoid it after dark. The story begins with a real woman. Lady Elizabeth Hatton, niece of Sir Christopher Hatton, one of Queen Elizabeth I's closest advisors. In January 1626, she attended a lavish ball at Hatton House. She was last seen alive dancing in the Grand Hall. Hours later, servants found her in the courtyard, dead. The details vary depending on which historical account you read, but witnesses described her body as torn apart. Her heart lying separate from her body, still warm, still beating. The official cause of death was never confirmed. Some say it was murder, others whispered something darker. The courtyard was renamed Bleeding Heart Yard, and that's where the sightings began. Over the centuries, people have reported seeing a woman in a long red gown standing in the yard. She's always perfectly still, staring at nothing, and then she vanishes. In 2003, a restaurant worker closing up late at night saw her. He described her as pale, almost glowing, with a dress that looked like it was soaked in wine or blood. He called out. She turned toward him and disappeared into the wall. Others have reported cold spots, the smell of roses and copper, and the faint sound, heartbeat echoing through the alley. You can visit Bleeding Heart Yard today. There's a restaurant there now. Ask the staff. Some will tell you they've seen her. Others will just tell you to leave before it gets dark. Story 3. The Black Nun of Bank Station. A sister who never stopped searching. Every night, deep below the streets of London, engineers and night workers walk the tunnels of Bank Underground Station. Some of them refuse to go alone. They've seen her, the woman in black. Her name was Sarah Whitehead. In 1811, her brother Philip worked at the Bank of England. He was respected, trusted, until he was caught forging documents. The sentence was death, but Sarah was never told. No one wanted to break her heart, so when she came looking for him, employees lied. They said he was away, busy, traveling. She believed them, for a while. Every day she returned to the bank, dressed in black, asking the same question. "Have you seen my brother?" Eventually they told her the truth. He was gone, executed. It destroyed her. From that day forward, Sarah wandered the area in mourning clothes, asking strangers, clerks, anyone, "Have you seen my brother?" She did this for 25 years, until she died. And then, the sightings started. Workers at the bank reported seeing a woman in Victorian black dress walking the corridors. Security guards saw her on CCTV, standing in locked rooms. When they went to check, no one was there. After the underground was built beneath the bank in the 1930s, she moved below. Tube workers claim she walks the tunnels late at night near the old vaults. She never makes a sound. She just walks, and then fades into the walls. One engineer in 1982 saw her so clearly, he thought she was a lost passenger. He called out. She turned, looked directly at him, and walked straight through a locked door. To this day, some staff refuse to work the late shift at Bank Station. They know she's still looking, still asking, still waiting for her brother. Highgate Cemetery, 37 acres of crumbling graves, overgrown ivy, and Victorian tombs. It's one of the most beautiful and most haunted places in London. But in the late 1960s, something changed. Locals started reporting a tall, dark figure moving between the graves. It didn't walk, it glided, and its eyes glowed. At first, people thought it was vandals or kids messing around, but then animals started turning up dead. Foxes, cats, drained completely of blood. In 1970, a man named David Farrant was walking past the cemetery late at night. He saw it, a tall, humanoid figure standing inside the gates, staring directly at him. He froze. It didn't move. And then, in an instant, it was gone. He reported it. And once the story hit the newspapers, dozens of others came forward. They'd seen it too. A woman fainted after making eye contact with the figure. 2 schoolgirls ran screaming from the cemetery gates, claiming something had followed them. Another witness described a face that looked dead, but its eyes were alive. 2 rival investigators, David Farrant and Sean Manchester, launched full paranormal investigations. Manchester claimed it was a vampire, awakened from its grave. Farrant believed it was something else, something older. Television crews filmed there. Newspapers covered it. Hundreds of people showed up one night in 1970, hoping to catch a glimpse. Police had to shut the area down. And then, the sightings stopped. Mostly. But even today, visitors report strange experiences. Shadows that move against the light. Footsteps behind them on empty paths. And that feeling, the unmistakable feeling, of being watched. Highgate closes its gates before sunset now. Officially, it's to protect the graves. But locals know the real reason. Story 5. The 10 Bells Pub, where Jack the Ripper's victims drank their last. The haunting that never ended. Whitechapel, 1888. Between August and November, 5 women were murdered. Brutally, methodically. Their throats slashed. Their bodies mutilated in ways that horrified even the most hardened detectives. The killer was never caught, but history gave him a name. Jack the Ripper. Mary Ann Nichols. Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Jane Kelly. All 5 were last seen alive near one location, a pub on Commercial Street called the 10 Bells. It's still there, still serving drinks, still open to the public. But the staff will tell you, they're not alone. Footsteps upstairs when the pub is empty, doors slamming on their own, glasses sliding off tables, and figures, Victorian figures, appearing in mirrors for just a second before vanishing. One bartender in 2004 was closing up when he saw a woman in old-fashioned clothes standing near the fireplace. He asked if she needed help. She didn't respond. He blinked, and she was gone. Others report hearing whispers, names being called out softly from dark corners. London is beautiful, historic, alive with millions of people every single day. But beneath the surface, in the quiet corners and forgotten alleys, the past refuses to stay buried. These stories aren't fiction. They're documented, witnessed, reported, and they're still happening. If you want more mysteries like this, more true stories that'll make you question what's real, let me know. Because this city has secrets that go back centuries, and some of them are still watching.